So we are starting with my fabric on a fold. Okay, we're starting with my fabric on a fold, and we're starting with the pants, the front part of the pant. And the first thing I went ahead to do was to mark my starting line. You want to make sure that your starting line is at least 1 inch from the top. So I marked 1 inch downward, 1.5 inch downwards, and I drew a straight line. Okay, so after drawing a straight line, that's my starting line. The next thing I went ahead to do was to mark my crouch line. Okay, so my crouch line is 12 inches. Now, the crouch line for this client is 11 inches. Well, because this is a jumpsuit, I marked 12 inches. And how do you get your crouch line? You get your crouch line by dividing your hips by 4 inches. Okay, whatever you get, that's your crouch line for free trousers like a palazzo. And I also went ahead to mark this second line I marked here is my hip line. So the first line is my starting line, that's my hip line, and that's my crouch line. Okay, so as that's my crouch line, the next thing I went ahead to do was to mark my knee length. Okay, so after marking my knee length, I went ahead to target knee length. So from the middle, I marked my hips measurement divided by 4 plus 3.5 inches. And at my crouch line, I marked my hips measurement divided by 4 plus 3.5 inches. Okay, so after doing this, I just went ahead to connect with a straight line. So for my crouch curve, I divided my hips by 10 and I marked it. Okay, so now after dividing my hips by 10 and marked it, I just went ahead to curve in my crouch curve. Now I took the distance between those two places, and I also mark the distance at my knee point. Okay, so after marking distance at my knee point, I came in by 2 inches. Okay, so now after coming in by 2 inches at the hem, whatever I marked at my knee point, I stepped it down by 1 inch and I marked it. Okay, so if I mark maybe 12.5 at my knee point, at the hem I marked 11.5. You get the drill. So after doing all this, I just went ahead to connect all my markings together. Okay, so now the next thing I went ahead to do was to mark my waist divided by 4 plus 2.5 inches. Okay, so 2.5 inches will include my sewing allowance and all that good stuff. So now after marking out my waist measurement, I just went ahead to connect it to my hip point. Okay, so remember that your hip point is 8 inches from the top. That's from that your starting line. Okay, so now the next thing I went ahead to do is from around the middle of the distance between that's my waist point, the middle point of my waist. I just looked for the middle and I just slanted it to the top. Okay, I slanted it to the top because you guys know that our waist is not exactly straight around the side, so I just slanted it upwards. And after doing all this, the next thing I went ahead to do was to cut it out. Very simple, very straightforward. Now I just want to tell you guys something. For your crouch, if your normal crouch length is 11 inches, okay, your normal crouch length is 11 inches. When you're cutting a jumpsuit, make it 12 inches because you know it's going to go a little bit higher. Okay, so now it's time to cut the back part. For the back part, just like the front, the fabric is on a fold. Okay, so the fabric is on a fold, and the next thing I went ahead to do was to lay my front part on the back part. This thing is like tongue twister, back part. Okay, so I placed my front part on the back part. After placing my front part on the back part, I made sure it was well aligned. And now the next thing I went ahead to do was to transfer the lines from the front part to the back part. That's my crouch line. And I went ahead to add 1.5 inch for my crouch extension for the back. So I added 1.5 inch. And I also did same thing at my knee point. And I did this across the entire inseam. I added 1.5 inch to the back part. Okay, so now after adding 1.5 inch to the back part, the next thing I went ahead to do was to connect all my markings together. Okay, so now after connecting all my markings together, the next thing I went ahead to do was to extend the line at that point. Okay, so now after extending the line at the point, I traced my crouch curve line. Okay, there's a reason why you need to trace this. So I traced my crouch curve line. After tracing my crouch curve line, I went ahead, I came down by about 6 inches or 7 inches, I can't remember at this point, and I just extended that part by 2 inches. Now I'm doing this because the back part of this dress is going to have of this jumpsuit is going to have a zip. Now if this was a stretchy fabric, there won't be need for me to put a zip, but this is an Ankara print, so it needs a zip so the customer can get into her outfit. Okay, so I just went ahead to mark 2 inches and I connected my markings together. So after doing this, the next thing I went ahead to do was just cut through. You can see how I placed everything. That is how you are going to cut through yours. Okay, so I just went ahead to cut through. Very simple, very straightforward. This is what the front and the back part looks like. Okay, you want to make sure that your points are well aligned. Okay, now I didn't mention this, but my hip point is 8 inches from the top. I know I didn't mention this when I was cutting the front part. Okay, so now for the blouse part, the first thing I went ahead to do was to fold my fabric. Okay, now the length of this fabric is 17.5 inches. So from the middle I marked 1.5 inch. So after marking 1.5 inch, I connected my markings together and I folded it. Because the front is going to have gathers, we need to create like an extension or a place where we can an extension to form the gathers. Okay, so which is what I tried to do here. I marked 1.5 inch, I folded it in. Now the next thing I went ahead to do, from the top I came down by 8 inches, which is my bust point line. Okay, so I came down by 8 inches, and after coming down by 8 inches, the next thing I went ahead to do was to connect my markings together. Okay, so I connected my markings together. Now after connecting my markings together, the next thing I went ahead to do is from the middle I marked circumference of my, not circumference, from the middle I marked my shoulder point. Not my shoulder point, because this dress is actually for a client. I marked the client's shoulder point. So her shoulder is 16 inches. So 16 divided by 2, that's 8 inches. So I marked 8 inches. I took my neck width at 4 inches and my neck depth at 3 inches. Okay, so after taking my neck width at 4 inches and my neck depth at 3 inches, I went ahead to step my shoulder down by half an inch. Okay, you know all the shebang we do. Okay, I stepped my shoulder line by half an inch. I inserted my shoulder slant, and for my armhole I came in by half an inch, so we can have a good armhole curve there. So after that I went ahead to mark circumference of my bust divided by 4 plus 2 inches. Okay, 1 inch is for sewing allowance. Okay, so circumference of my bust divided by 4 plus 2 inches. Now after doing this, I just went ahead to insert my armhole curve. Okay, so now after inserting my armhole curve, this is what we have here, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so now this is what we have here, and the next thing I went ahead to do is at the hem I went ahead to mark circumference of my waist divided by 4 plus 2 inches. So circumference of my client's waist here divided by 4 is 8 inches plus 2 inches, that is 10 inches. So I went ahead to mark 10 inches. Okay, so now after marking 10 inches at my neck outline, the next thing I went ahead to do was to mark 4 inches. I placed my tape on it and marked 4 inches. Here I marked 3 inches, but I went ahead to correct it to 4 inches. Okay, so now after marking 4 inches, I just went ahead to slide it into my armhole curve. Okay, that is how you create your halter neck. You slide it into your armhole curve, which is what I did here, and you can see that it's looking pretty already. Then the next thing I went ahead to do was to cut it out. You guys, I keep saying mine, that's because I'm used to doing tutorials where I'm cutting for myself, but this particular outfit is for a client. Okay, so now the next thing I went ahead to do was to cut the back part. So remember, for the front the gathers allowance was 1.5 inch. So for the back I marked 2.5 inches because 1 inch is for zip allowance and remaining 1.5 inch is for the gathers extension. So I just went ahead to fold, and all the things we did for the front part, I'm just going to replicate it in the back part. Okay, so it's time to sew. Okay, it is time to sew. So starting with the front part of this jumpsuit, I just went ahead to join it at my crotch extension. And for the back part, you're going to move away from that line you're seeing, and you're going to join it along the curve. Okay, so I took it over to my sewing machine and I joined the front part. After joining the front part, I went ahead to join the back part. You can see that I moved at about half an inch from that line and I joined the crouch for the back. Okay, so now after doing this, I went ahead to weave. After weaving, this is what we have here for both the front and the back. You can see it's looking pretty. So now the next thing I went ahead to do was to lay the front and the back part right sides facing each other, and I went ahead to secure with my office pin. Okay, so I think I placed the front part first. I can't remember which one I placed first, to be sincere. I shall place them on each other, and I held the middle point down with pin, and I held the entire inseam down with pins. I made sure everything was well aligned, and I just went ahead to join the inseam of this trouser. You guys, if you're hearing boom boom boom, someone chose to do construction when me, the madam, I'm doing voiceover. So manage. Okay, so I just went ahead to join the inseam of this trouser. Now, one of the reasons why you need to hold with pin is so that one leg is no longer than the other. Okay, so now after joining it and weaving it, this is what the inseam looks like. It's looking cute, it's looking beautiful. So this is what we have here. Okay, so now the next thing I went ahead to do after joining the inseam of this trouser, I was just stretching it out and showing you. The next thing now is to mark out my measurement. So I've already gone ahead to mark out the client's measurement. I keep saying mine, but it's not mine. I went ahead to mark out the client's measurement. Then I just went ahead to join it on my sewing machine. So depending on whatever measurement you're working with, you're going to mark. For me, the waist measurement I marked for the jumpsuit is what I'm going to mark for the blouse, so that everything will be well aligned. Okay, so after joining the front part and the back part of this trouser together, it is time to sew the blouse. Okay, so now because the front and the back part is identical, whatever we do to the front we'll do to the back. So for the back, I went ahead to cut. For the front, I went ahead to cut my facing. Okay, so now after cutting the facing, the next thing I went ahead to do was to attach the facing to the main piece. And for the zip allowance, I'm just going to first of all join the zip allowance, then I'll open it up, then I'll attach my facing. So for the zip, for the front part, I just went ahead to attach my facing. After attaching my facing, I went ahead to give the facing a very beautiful top stitch. Okay, so now after giving the facing a very beautiful top stitch, the next thing I went ahead to do was to sew my zip allowance. So I marked 1 inch for the back for my zip allowance. So now after marking it out, I went ahead to join it, and I went ahead to open it up. So after opening it up, I gave it a good press. After giving it a good press, I opened it up a little bit so that we can attach our facing. Okay, so I just went ahead to align the facing to the neckline of the back part. I went ahead to align it to the neckline of the back part, and I just went ahead to attach the facing of the back part. I'm taking my time to show you guys what it looks like for the back part, so you get a detailed understanding. Okay, if my voice is sounding croaky, I told you guys that whenever I'm at home alone doing voiceover, the house is just so quiet, and if I shout, it looks like I'm making so much noise. So I tend to talk slowly, not slowly, quietly, if there's a word like that. So after sewing and top stitching, this is what we have here. The next thing I went ahead to do is for the armhole, I went ahead to turn it over with my bias tape. I've shown you guys how to turn over bias tape more than 10,000 times on this channel, so you don't expect me to show you this time. I just went ahead to turn the armhole part with my bias tape. I turned it over and I gave it a good top stitch, and this is what we have here, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so now the next thing I went ahead to do is, you see that facing, we are going to top stitch on it so it doesn't move around, and so we can also create a channel that we are going to pass the makeshift collar through. Okay, so I did this for the front, I also did this for the back piece. Okay, so this is me doing it for the second side of the back, and this is what it looks like, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so this is what the back part looks like. So now I'm showing you the other side as well. You can see you want to make sure it's neatly done so it comes out beautiful. Okay, so now the next thing I went ahead to do was to align the front and the back part together. So after aligning the front and the back part together, I went ahead to mark out my bust and my waist measurement. Mind you, we added only 1 inch joining allowance, so I just marked 1 inch joining allowance out for the side. I just marked 1 inch, 1 inch, and I went ahead to join the front and the back part together. Okay, so after joining it, I went ahead to sew a what's it called now, a band, more like a band, but it's like a makeshift collar, and the width of this is 3 inches. So after joining it, we have about 1 inch, not 1 inch, we have about maybe 2.5 inches thereabout going on there. So now after joining the front part and the back part, ladies and gentlemen, I went ahead to turn it over so it makes more sense to you guys. Then I went ahead to open it up. So now after opening it up, I secured the collar, the band, okay, to my safety pin, and I just passed it through that channel we created with the facing. And this is how I created the gathers for the neckline of this halter neck jumpsuit, and this is what it looks like here, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so now after gathering it, I made sure everything was, well aligned, everything looks good. I tested it out on my mannequin that is almost same size with my client to make sure that the rope is not excess. The next thing I went ahead to do was to grab the trouser part of this jumpsuit. So now after grabbing the trouser part of this jumpsuit, I grabbed the blouse part of this jumpsuit, and I just went ahead to use my office pin to secure the top part and the bottom part of the jumpsuit together. I secured with my office pin. After securing my office pin, I took it over to my sewing machine and I joined it. Okay, so I just went ahead to join it on 1/2 inch joining allowance. Okay, so after joining it on 1/2 inch joining allowance, this is what we have here, ladies and gentlemen. Now the next thing I went ahead to do was to attach my zip to the back part of this outfit. I didn't show you guys a tutorial because I have 3 detailed videos on how to attach a zip, so check it out. I think 2, not 3. So this is what the zip looks like. Okay, this is what the zip looks like on the back of the dress. And if yours come out a little bit not really fitted at the back, just put elastic behind so it's a little bit fitted, because this is an Ankara print, so you need a little bit of snag around the waistline. So now the next thing I went ahead to do was to create the band for the jumpsuit, and I just went ahead to grab my fabric. You can also work with around 3.5 inches, join it so it's not so big. So after joining, this is what the jumpsuit looks like. It's looking beautiful, it's looking incredible. I made this jumpsuit for a client, and if you want me to make an outfit for you, I'll leave my contact on the screen, so you can just chat me up on WhatsApp, and we ship worldwide. Okay, we ship both locally in Nigeria and worldwide. So this is what the jumpsuit looks like. Let me know if you're going to try it out, and make sure you tag me if you try it out, and I will see you in my next video. Don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like, don't forget to share if you follow me on Facebook. Bye.